Up and away in my beautiful balloon. Join me while I show you step by step how I put this together. For our fun Friday, light it up! Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Susie Lee with LINA Boutique. Welcome to Light It Up. We're gonna light it up today on Craft Round the Clock. This is my segment. I will be here with you for 45 minutes and I have got a really fun craft I'm praying it's gonna turn out because I've been working on it. I've been working on it probably not long enough and I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so today is Light It Up Day. Have you been having fun watching any of the presenters today? It's been lots of fun. I've been watching a few this morning while I was prepping for my live. And so everybody's been lighting something up today. So I have been working on a hot air balloon. Yes, I have. Not the real big one, not the kind that, that I someday want to get in and float around in, but I've been working on this for a couple of days. Now here's the issue. Never did it before, just had this idea in my head. Now I had these balloons for another project that I have yet to do from Dollar Tree, and when you blow this balloon up you get this shape, sort of, kind of. I kind of had to cut the bottom out because you got to get your hand up in there. Okay, so let me tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Here's the deal. I started doing this way. Okay, so imagine this, where you tie off the balloon is right here. Okay, so I started with some Dollar Tree thickish yarn that I had on hand. And I put it in a cup of a little bit of water and mostly Mod Podge, okay? And I used almost all of my Mod Podge. I had to order some more because who knew you were going to need all that Mod Podge for this project? Apparently, I didn't know. But anyway, I went around the balloon and around the balloon and around the balloon. What I did was I took strips of this yarn and I just poked it down in this little solution that I made in the bottom of my solo cup. And then what I would do, I had to do this ahead of time. I couldn't do this with you because it would take me till next Friday. So, so I would put it down in the cup and I would pull it up and I would get all of the excess liquid out of it. And then I started spiraling it. Okay, now don't do that. Don't do what Susie did. Do this first because this will make your life infinitely more simple if you decide to do one of these. What you want to do is you want to cover the whole thing like I did over here this morning. You want to cover the whole thing in tissue paper or some kind of thin paper. You're going to cover your area with Mod Podge. You're going to slap on little squares, just cut them. It doesn't matter because you're going to overlap them all and cover the whole balloon like that. Then do it again. Then do it again. So you're going to want to do like 3 coats of the tissue paper. You can do it with toilet tissue paper. You can do it with tissue paper like gift wrap. You can do it any way you want. Okay, so here's the deal. And cover it all 3 times and then you're going to let it go overnight. You're not going to touch it. When you wake up the next morning, it's going to be nice and hard. Like this, see? It's not going to be soft. Hear the difference? I just did this today. This one is hard. You can hear the density, right? Okay, so here's what you do. Cover it 3 coats of tissue paper, Mod Podge it. If you don't have Mod Podge, what can you use? You can use Elmer's school glue, any kind of white school glue. I even used in a pinch here, I was running out of Mod Podge, so I put in a little Tight Bond Quick and Thick and mixed that in. You could use wood glue, cornstarch and water. You ever use cornstarch and water as a glue? I have before. I've actually done wallpapering with it. It works. So you can. Those are the things you can use to make it hard. You're gonna walk away from it. Then the next day, if you want texture, you can put texture on it over top of that. Or this lace, you can take strips of lace and do it this way, or you can do it this way. I chose to do it going around. it's really soft because there's nothing under it to support it, okay? So I had to let the balloon go because today at 3:15, I had to go live. So I did this. I took that little tie from the balloon and I pulled it real hard and I grabbed it up underneath it and I snipped it off, but I never let go. I didn't want to let go. I was trying to pull it loose from the base, from down here. Well, it wasn't letting loose, so I just said, oh well, bye-bye, I let it go. And in about 10 seconds, I heard crackle, 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 crackle. And what it did was it turned loose from the inside out. I cut a little circle here, got my hand down in and pulled the balloon out. However, as it was crackling, this imploded because it was not stable enough. Doing it the same day is not the ticket. I'm telling you all the things I did not to do so you won't make the same mistake. However, this is a perfect example of how you can take something that you would think, oh man, I'm gonna throw this in the garbage, now it's no good. It kind of looked pretty actually. It kind of imploded. It looked like a cake, an angel food cake that had sunk. That's what it looked like. It was kind of cool actually. So what you want to do is you want 3 coats of the Mod Podge and the tissue paper. Wait overnight, get it the next day, 24 hours later, and then you can add to it if you want. You can add all your lace or your accoutrement that you want to put on it. And then when you let that balloon go, you're going to have to take a scissor and you're going to have to cut a circle here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but because mine imploded and it was not ready to be let loose, I decided I would stuff it with fiber fill. Does that work? Yes, it does. It's working really well. I've got it stuffed to the max with fiber fill so that it won't implode. Will it stay like this after it's completely dry? I don't know. I could go in after, take all the fiber fill out. I could take it all out and afterwards add some glue on the inside and fortify it from the inside so that it wouldn't, and then wait another 24, 48 hours. And then I'm thinking it'll be nice and hard. I could do that, but this is so lightweight. It really isn't necessary. I mean, I can leave it like this. I'm going to actually light this up in the end, but I'm going to show you. I told you all that to tell you this. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Laveda. So I told you all that to tell you this. I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to work on a basket. Below the hot balloon, you got to have a basket, right? Because people got to be in the basket. So let me tell you what I did. I could have built a basket out of cardboard. You can do that if you want, but why build one when you have one, right? If you already have one, you can get them. You can go to the fruit market and get a little pint basket for your berries. You can do that. That's where this came from. It was strawberries. My kids always laugh at me. Why do you keep your garbage? Well, because today I needed it. I dug it out from underneath my kitchen. I knew right where it was. Just had to get in there and get it. And but because I'm going to cover this with burlap, You will see what happens when you cover it with burlap. See? You can kind of still see the green through there, and I'm a little picky. So, shoot, you know what I didn't do? I did not bring my my fabric that's going to go on the inside of the basket. I guess I could just use burlap. I got more burlap here I could use. I was going to use a white fabric inside, but burlap will work fine. But so what I did was I took the basket, and I got this paint from Folk Art. It's paint for plastic. It's called Paint for Plastic, and this is espresso. And so I just painted it. I was painting the basket, 1 coat. And I could have put 2 coats on here, but this is all going to get covered up anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So what you do is you take a piece of burlap. Are you following me? Are you taking notes? So what you got to do is you got to get a square of burlap, okay? And you're going to put this right smack in the middle of it. And at each corner of the basket, you're going to snip it all the way around. Snip, snip, cut, cut, all the way around. on 4 corners, okay? So that when you go to adhere it, now I'm going to adhere this basket to the bottom of, I got it on low temp. I probably should up it a notch, but I didn't want to get burned. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to adhere it to the basket like that. Okay. Then you're going to pull it up like this on the side and tuck it in. Okay. However, before you do that, you got to think like an engineer. You know, you got to think a little bit like an engineer. I have, where are they? No, put them over here. I have 4 skewers. I'm going to cut them all the same length. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 of them and mark them in the same spot and then just cut them. Okay, just like this while that's gluing. Just make sure they're all butted up the same length because you don't want them crookedies, right? Get yourself a little pencil or pen or something. Squish them together like this, and you're just going to make a mark, a line, straight line, all the way across like that, and then you're going to nip them in the bud. I'm going to turn it so I can see the flat side of I just use like a wire plier, but the flat side of it I can see exactly where I'm nipping. Just like that. We're going to do 4 of them. Try to make them straight. Okay, so now that you've seen me do one of them, I'm going to speed this forward a little bit and just get the next 3 done real quick like. It's just repeat, repeat, repeat. So I just thought you didn't need to watch all that. All right, so we've got it going, all right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give it a little bit, I'm gonna turn that hot glue up a little because it needs to be a little hotter. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up and go right across the lip, across the bottom. I'm gonna get my little hot glue gun finger on so that I can touch it. And here I go. We're gonna do the bottom, maybe even the sides. I'm gonna just do like a little square of it. And then I'll bring it up. And I'm gonna have to trim it up a little bit. I'm gonna lay it down, give it a press. And we'll have to trim up those corners. Get you some good scissors, because you're going to need them. Might need a little extra glue in the end, but okay. God, now I got to get under the stick. Okay, that's all right. A little extra glue. So each corner of the basket will you be able to see that? No, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this little wing on the side, just give it a little bit of hot glue, fold it over. It's kind of like wrapping a present, you know. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, 4 corners, or 4, do a little square. Then I'm going to turn it this way, kind of give it a yank, make it nice and snug, and push it down from the inside. Like that, so that it sticks to the basket. The reason I had to paint the basket is because it was, you could see the green through it, and I didn't want that. Okay, let me see here. There we go. Woo! Come back here. Excuse me. Okay, over here, there's a little wing. Do I need that wing? No, I can cut that right off straight across because I did the wing on the inside on the other one. All you're gonna do is just wrap it best you can. Put a little glue on the burlap and tuck it in. Like that. Ooh, hot glue. I did crank it up. Okay, this is working out quite nicely, y'all. It's working out really well. All right, so this side here is gonna get cut because I already flipped that side up and covered it. Okay, then we're gonna go around like a square again. Each side has to get covered up. Well, I'm just gonna flip it. I have a tickle in my throat. Okay, I'm just gonna snip it there. And because I've tucked both sides in, all I have to do is trim off this little tail here. Like that. And this one over here. And I just have to tuck that little lip in right there. Give it a little trim. Cute. And I kind of like the rusticness of this burlap for the basket, don't you? It's perfect. Anyway, okay, so we got the basket, you guys. Could we cover the center? We will if we have time. Let me show you what I got going here. If you're just jumping on and you're seeing what happened, you'll have to go back and hear the story about how this was created and what not to do. I'm gonna make the sand sacks. I haven't made sand sacks, y'all. You just take 4 pieces of fabric, make sure they're the same size, okay? You're gonna fold it in half. Just, I eyeballed it. I just eyeballed it. I did one, it turned out, I said, hey, this works. You need 4 of these because you're gonna put little sand sacks on here so that they, you gotta be able to lower your balloon, your hot air balloon, right? Okay, so you fold it in half and you fold it in half again like this. And on the open, not on the fold, on the open end, you're gonna kind of round it. You're just gonna come in like this and you're gonna round it. So that way, when you open it up, it looks like that. I'm gonna do it one more time because I feel like it needs a little bit more fabric taken off. It doesn't have to be perfect, but, all right. Then what you're gonna do, now when you open it, you've got this, okay? And so you're gonna take your hot glue right along the perimeter, and you don't wanna go all the way up. You wanna leave about a 1/2 inch at the top, unglued. Ouch. Because you wanna be able to get your finger in there, because I'm gonna stuff it with a little bit of fiberfill. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are so sweet. All right, I'm going to take just a little bit of this fiberfill. I keep fiberfill on hand for all sorts of seasons and things. Get my little finger in here. And what I found is a skinny skewer, like the one I have in the basket here, doesn't work to push it down. So what I do is I just kind of get it started, get a little bit of it in there, kind of shove it in, and then you find well, this one's not, I just used a thicker skewer and shoved it down in there. Kind of fill the bag. Just a little, whoop, just a little bit. That popped loose a little. Of course it did, because I'm live. The other three didn't do that. I'm just saying. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of twine, just a little bit, just tie this bag at the top. All you do is you tie yourself a little loopy-loop, put it around the top of the bag, just like that, and give it a cinch, just like that. Make sure all of your stuffing is down where it belongs in the bag, like that. Give it a good cinch, tie a knot like that, and I'm going to snip the ends. I was going to tie a little bow, and I decided I'm going to do the bow separate, because what it does is it makes it like all floppy lopsided, and I don't want my sandbag bows to be floppy lopsided. So I mean, I don't know about you all, but that's just how I feel about the situation. So I'm going to tie another piece of twine, and I'm going to make a little shoelace bow real quick, like. I'm just going to glue it on there, because then it's straight. You know, it'll make me twitch if it's not. Y'all know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm a nutcase. I'll admit it. I'll be the first. I'm a nutcase. That's the first step, is admission, right? I don't know where you go from there, but I don't know. All right, little dab of glue. Whoopsie. I got 10 minutes. Go. Can she do it? I don't know. Little sandbags are going to go on the little corners. Or should I put them in the middle? Because I have tassels too. I have these tassels. Debating. Maybe the tassels should go on the corner and the sandbags in the middle. Yep. I just figured it out. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue, like that, and these little sandbags are going to go, I've made 3 other ones, in case you're wondering, right here. It takes one to know one. True that, sister. All right. Okay, I'll flip it around the other side, so I can squash both sides at the same time. I've had fun watching all y'all today doing your lighted up crafts. Fun Fridays are fun, aren't they? I love it. All right. Get that bow on there where it belongs. So this one goes on the other side here. Hoping it won't fall off at this point. I'll just hold it. Ouch! Ow, that's hot on the other side. Don't do that either. Susie's telling you what not to do today. Don't do this. Whatever you do, don't do that. Last one on this corner over here. Like I said, I'm probably not going to have time to finish the inside. All I'm going to do with that is I'm going to grab some fabric, a little square of it, and I'm going to pop it down in there and flip the edges under and just glue them. That's all I'm going to do. It's not rocket science, not very hard. So, okay, now I got the sandbags on here. How cute is that, right? And I do have tassels. What I did was I took these little, I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's a little medallion, and it has tassels and beads and all the things on it. So I just took all the beads off and made them white, put it on a skewer, and I made them white. There's 3 beads on a tassel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 beads on a tassel, and we're gonna put it on the corner of the basket, like that. It's easier to paint if they're on a stick like this. Yeah, they roll around a little bit, but you know, for the most part, they stay pretty well. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give this last bead a little bit of hot glue to make it stick. Pull it tight. Oops. And maybe shoot a little bit down inside there. We're gonna take the basket. And on these corners, I'll just wrap it. I'll wrap that little piece of twine around with the little hot glue and let it kind of dangle. Okay, so you get the idea where we're going with this. Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna have to glue it down to the side here because it's kind of like sticking out. We don't want that. Okay. 6. Oh, I don't have that much time. Okay, so for the sake of time, I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing here. Isn't that cute with the little tassel hanging down here on the basket? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you my, this little medallion. I'm going to actually end up taking out all of this stuffing and putting this medallion on the inside and cutting a hole here. I'm going to cut a hole so that the medallion fits inside. There's a little bit of a hole there. I'm going to drag a string through here and loop it so it can be hung. You get where I'm going with that? So this will be there, this will be here. It'll have a little loop. It can be hung or you can sit it. But what I'm going to do to light it up, I'm going to show you, I have these lights. They're the coolest things ever. I'm going to stuff them up inside of this. This has 4 settings. It's a light show. It responds to music, so it goes with the music. I tried it out. It's really cool. It goes steady on, slow pulse, or it blinks. So I'm going to turn it on so you can see the lights going. Woohoo! And what I'm going to do before I replace all of the stuffing is I'm going to put all of this down inside and around the edge. Then I'm going to put the stuffing in it like that. And it's going to all be inside and it'll be blinking, 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 blinking like that. Okay. This little guy's just going to hang into the basket here because like, why not, right? Not a problem. And we're going to make these 4 prongs go in. Look at this. I might have to cut the hole a little bit bigger, but ta-ta-da-da. How about that? That is how. And there we have our hot air balloon, guys. There it is in all its glory. And I'm probably gonna, when you see the pictures of it, you're gonna, and I know you can't see it lit up because it's so bright in here right now, but when you see it in all its glory, it's gonna have, I always judge for like a day and a half after my lives. Do you guys do that too? I can't let it go. I can't let it go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate you all so much. Y'all so sweet and so kind. Give this a try. Go back and watch the beginning. All the things that you shouldn't do when you're making a hot air balloon. Okay? All right. Love you all, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.